I see yo, my Niiji. 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 I see yo. What's going on? Boy, y'all be tripping me out. I'm gonna clip this right here today. So, what's up, my Niiji? It's Chief this Dr. Sean here. Back with another video. And one thing I can say is that my YouTube channel is most certainly growing. I've started to receive some troll comments and some very informative comments and some helpful comments. But to the trolls that come on my page, that's what I call people who come and just want to like debate and battle. And that's good because that means that the content that we're discussing and putting out is starting a conversation. Whether you're for what I'm saying or against what I'm saying, it's still good conversation. But 2 days in a row, I had someone come on my post and try to act like I'm ignorant because I'm finding out who I am. I just think that is baffling because as long as I was this Black African American identity, all my family over here, not really knowing who I am, my page was not as alive as it is now. The moment I got into my true identity, deleted hundreds of videos, and started to wake up and read for myself, which is why no one can ever tell me who I am. No one can ever tell me about what to believe or facts. I know how to read. If you know how to read, and once you uncover some of this stuff, there's no way you can go back to thinking how you used to think. So when I see people come and they say little things like, oh, you looked it, I know you haven't read. And the thing that you're trying to make ignorant is actually a reflection of you in the mirror, right? So, but I think that going over the comments, especially the ones that aren't in alignment with what you think, is good. Okay? But if you ruffle, if you like say something that doesn't make sense, I'm probably gonna call you out. Now, if I had a million comments, I would probably ignore them all. But now, since my channel is small, I can catch those little comments and pretty much not really call you out, but just have a conversation about it because I'm confused at what the you talking about, right? So this person wrote today on the video that I made saying I'm talking about the word engine and how it's been used and about Thanksgiving. Now this is on The Simpsons, and The Simpsons, if you know, then you know. They tell a lot of history and facts in between the lines on the cartoons. And I would have never noticed this until I started reading. So because I started reading, because I became unignorant, I am able to notice things in my environment, on television, on the radio, all around me that are propaganda. In case you don't know what propaganda is, it's basically lies that are put out to make you believe something that's not really true, to get you to do something that the person who is making the propaganda wants you to do. Now, before I read this statement, I will remind you that all of the colonists that came over here, the settlers, whatever name you want to give them, the pilgrims, all of these people came onto Indian land, my ancestors' land. Completely tried to change the names, but they couldn't do it because it was too much land. It was too many people here already. They came to the land, immediately started naming things. Christopher Columbus, he pulled up to the West Indies, the islands, Bahamas, Haiti, all these areas, and immediately start naming things. So whatever the island was that he would land on, the second he stepped foot on this, he would say, hey, are we going to name this Isabella after the queen in Spain or Portugal? Are we going to name this king this? He didn't care about who was there. He was like, oh, there's people here. One island, there was hundreds of people there. Oh, we're going to come back and unalive these people and take this island and rename it. So when you talk about ignorance and believing lies, and I've been believing the lies since I've been going to school. So when someone comes and says statements like the one I'm about to read to you, it doesn't bother me anymore because I know who I am. I know the truth. There's nothing you could do to make me unread what I read about what this man said and all these other people read and said. It just shows me that you haven't really read, or you haven't done your genealogy, or you did your genealogy and you think your genealogy is other people's genealogy, or you just think America, the country, tells the truth. Now that's a true LOL. If you think that anything in this country is truthful, even Christmas, that's not a truthful holiday. It was started in Rome. They brought that over here. If you go deep into it, you understand that Christmas is in alignment with Saturnalia. You probably never heard of this before. So these are things that you probably don't know. So you think it's ignorant because it's a lot of information. Because I did digging, I did research. I know about Sinterklaas in Dutch in the Netherlands. I know about Zwarte Piet, Black Pete, how they paint their faces black and how they still protest to this day. The people over there in the Dutch lands, the Netherlands, the melanated people in those lands protest because they think that that's racism. But we over here, we don't understand that Santa Claus was an image kind of created by Coca-Cola to help market their soda. And they tied it to Christmas. But that's too much for you. You think it just go so deep. Sometimes the deepest things is really not even that deep, especially when you're trying to uncover all this knowledge, because knowledge, the truth is easy to understand. Lies, you got to cover it up. So when you talk about ignorance and believing something, that don't fly over here no more. That BS don't fly. So the person wrote, I'm gonna read it how I think they would have said it. If this is you wrote this comment, I'm gonna read it how I think you said it in your head when you was watching my video about the Indian and how they was eating Indian eyes, and about how Thanksgiving is a up holiday, and about how Christmas ain't worth nothing. Okay, yeah, I did my research. And it ain't no little pieces of research. It's all over the internet. It's all in the books. It's everywhere. You just gotta spend a little time reading versus watching videos ready to put a comment out that don't make sense. All right, I know y'all ready for me to read this comment. So let me get into it. I'm gonna read it how I think they read it. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see how I think they read it. They probably looked at my video, was like, here we go again. LOL. We have another person who claims to have done their quote research unquote on Christmas. Which is more dangerous? An ignorant person or a person with a small bit of alternative information with an ounce of truth mixed with a ton of lies? So they're trying to say which is more dangerous? An ignorant person. So you got two options of what they think me talking about knowledge is. I'm either ignorant or a person with a little bit of alternative information, meaning alternative to the Christmas in America, with a little bit of truth mixed into with a ton of lies. See, your whole statement here is full of BS. It's full of BS. Let me tell you why. Because in your eyes, the ignorant person is safer because they're not reading, they don't know who they are. So you're saying which one is more dangerous? What are you talking about? Dangerous. You feel like it's dangerous for people to know who they are, do research on who they are, their heritage, where they came from, their genealogy. But you think it's even worse that this person starts to research, wake up, learn the truth, and then you got people, oh my God, not another one. See, that's the attitude right there where I have to call you out. I had to call you out. I gotta call you out. And it's good we gotta have a conversation about this because you the one who wrote this paragraph. What's more dangerous? What's really more dangerous is comments like this. What's dangerous is a comment like this because it makes people who are newly self-identifying themselves correctly and coming away from that term that makes them property, that gets them disrespected every day, that gets them unalive, that allows the people in the government and the police to harass them, that gets them treated less than equal, that gets them denied for loans for their business and their houses, that gets them stereotyped and not given the job over other people. Like, you want them to stay that, so you feel like that ain't dangerous. I'm so confused about this whole comment. That's why I say sometimes people will come on your post when you're newly awakening, or if you're Niiji and you're trying to figure it out, you just did your genealogy and you starting to talk about it, don't get intimidated by comments like this, because people are gonna talk. People gonna the most ignorant people will say things like this because they have no idea what I'm talking about. I didn't even have any idea until I did the research and I saw it. So if you just come and you think people don't know what they're talking about and it's a little bit of truth, listen, you have to do your own reading and show yourself approved. But you can't tell me what's in my head and what I read and what I know to be facts. And this is facts from other countries. This is them telling their history. How are they telling their history wrong? It doesn't really make sense. And my thing is, I'd rather have a little bit of truth than all of a lie. I'd rather have an ounce of the truth and knowing who I am, even if it's a motherfucking ounce. I want it. I want it. I'd rather have an ounce of truth than to be asleep and not even trying to figure it out. So you got every Niiji who trying to wake up and figure it out, toe all the way up with this comment. You got them toe up. You right. We dangerous with even a little bit of knowledge. We dangerous. You right. That's dangerous. To wake up and realize you've been living a lie your whole life. Even when you get that little bit of seed, that's all it take, baby, is a little bit of knowledge that can grow and elevate into wisdom, so you can help other people not be so ignorant. So I actually thank you for this comment, because it shows me that people just really don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then when you're trying to wake up and get yourself together, they're gonna be right here every time. That ain't right. Well, you tell me what you know about Christmas. You think it's a real you think it's a real holiday. You think it really means something. You really think it has something to do with the truth. I need you to go do a little digging. Go look up Santa Claus. SINTERKLAAS. Go look up Santa Claus and Black Pete. Okay? Go look that up. And tell me what you find. Tell me if you find melanated people in the Netherlands, in the Dutch, protesting Santa Claus, who pulls up from Spain, supposedly, quote unquote, who pulls up from Spain with a whole bunch of Caucasian people or pale-faced people with black stuff on their faces, and they come and give out presents. And that was supposed to be his helpers. The black people are the helpers. They're the help. You don't see nothing wrong with that. I know you probably don't see nothing wrong with that person who owns this comment. You probably don't see anything wrong with that. You don't even know why they're protesting. You think, oh, they're ignorant. Listen, just do what you do. Don't make no more comments on nobody else's post talking about talking about what's more dangerous, an ignorant person or a person with... First of all, DDS, baby, Doctor of Dental Surgery. You don't even have a license to call nobody ignorant. You don't even have a license probably in nothing. And I'm not going to really read you too bad. I'm not really going to keep going into this, but I just wanted to send out a message, really not even to you, but to other Niiji out here, to tell you, don't be intimidated by these comments like this. They are going to come. Still speak your truth. Because it's probably 99% of the people who don't know the truth. They're going to be unaccepting of the truth. They don't want to hear it. They're going to celebrate Christmas until forever. And that is okay. If that is you, do you, boo. But don't come over here celebrating Christmas and not really knowing the true origin of Christmas. I ain't talking about the American origin. I'm talking about when they came over here in the 1400s, 1500s, and they brought those traditions here. The Indians were not celebrating that. They forced them basically to start celebrating these holidays. Oh, let me guess. You didn't know that. You was ignorant about that, right? This is not something that we celebrated as Indian. All of these things were forced. Religion was forced. School forced. Church forced. Okay? Sounds bizarre. I know it sounds bizarre. This is the whole thing. This is the whole reason why Niiji is having a problem getting their identity switched, because the government don't want them to do that. So they're making it every roadblock possible. They don't even want them to talk about it. That's why they're trying to ban TikTok, ban this. And they happy with comments like this. So, yeah, to my Niiji out there, stand on motherfucking business about who you are. Don't accept no BS when it comes to who you are. Don't let nobody else tell you nothing about who you are. Not none of these comments. Don't let them tell you nothing about who you are. Rip it up, and I could easily block it. But like I said, I like to see who people what people think, what they know. If you think you're gonna come on here and ignorant, listen, don't use that word on my page. Far from ignorant. You gotta understand. I came from Tallahassee down to the dirty South, Tallahassee, where the police are very bees on the people. They harass you, they stalk people, they do all the things that they've been doing, but in uniform and with a license to do it. Okay? I came from a place where poverty affects so many people, and it affected me. It affected me. Poverty, this black identity, being this little black girl in the classroom, dealing with white supremacy. The Caucasian kids are being taught to think they're better, while the melanated kids are being taught that they're slaves and they're from Africa. Let me guess, you don't see nothing wrong with that. And that's all true to you, right? Okay. And coming from a place where, you know, being born into a 14-year-old mother. Yes, a 14-year-old mother, a teenage mother. One would think that I would become some ignorant teenage mother myself, right? No, didn't do that. I said, you know what? Let me change the trajectory of my life. I don't want to do that, right? My mom died. Not only was she young when she had me, but she died when I turned 8 years old. And not only that, I did not live with my father, never in my life, ever. Okay? And he wasn't there when my mom died. My mom died. My dad was in and out of jail, in prison. He was into street drugs. I know he loved me. He wrote letters when he got incarcerated, but when he got out, he was back into the street life. And then the justice system always targeting him because he's chocolate like me, but a little bit darker. So I understand his fight. I understand his story. If I was ignorant, it would have caused me to be mad at him. Like, dang, I was mad at one point until I realized it's not really his fault. It is, but there were things and systems in place to make this situation how it was, right? Despite that fact, not having my mom, not having my dad, being in custody battles between my grandparents, not being treated the best when one of those grandparents won, working while in school, in high school, starting to work, buying my own car at 16 years old, graduating and saying, you know what, I'm going to go and be a doctor. My mama gave me that idea, that mission when I was a little girl. She said, you're going to be a doctor, because she saw that I wasn't ignorant since I was a jit. You know what a jit mean? That mean a kid, right? So then I went to college, put myself through college, worked 2 and 3 jobs to get through college, went to get a master's because I said I'm never going to quit. I don't care what stereotypes people put on me saying I'm going to be a teenage mother, I'm going to grow up and be nothing, be ignorant, like the words you use. No, baby, you got the wrong one. The wrong entire one. And it's a lot of us out, y'all got us fucked up. Like, keep your ignorant comments to yourself, because I only see one thing that's ignorant is just staying asleep and saying, well, they don't want me to learn because I'm gonna be the only one who's waking up. No, I don't care if I'm the only one, or I don't care if I have to just keep speaking my truth. You will get the truth from me. That's why I deleted all my old videos, because it wasn't my true self. I was making it because I was in a lost identity, right? But now, and I did all of this, graduated, became a dentist, fought through the stereotypes, fought through poverty, fought through being underserved, all of these things. I did that while being blind, while being ignorant, if you want to take it there. I did that while I didn't even know who I was, while they was trying to hold us back so we couldn't read and write. I did that without parents, did that without somebody telling me to stay on the right path, did that. Stayed in school, worked 2, 3 jobs in college, worked as a work study student for Florida State University Medical School in a Drosophila lab, cleaning fly shit out of vials. Worked at Winn-Dixie, and I worked at the hotel at the same damn time to get through college. You want to call me ignorant? You want to call anybody ignorant because they waking up? Listen, I did that while I was ignorant to the fact of who I am. Wow. Just imagine, though, if I had been told the truth, what you call a little bit of lies. Everything in American history, everything that is in these books is pseudo history. When you hear me say the word pseudo history, that's what's ignorant. Believing pseudo history and going around judging other people talking about, well, you don't really know. No, you don't really know. You have no idea. You don't have a clue. You have no idea how hard it is to make it out of a struggle when people want you to start with nothing and end with nothing. And you say, no, that will not be me. I will not end my life with nothing. I will not allow them to tell me who I am. I'm going to go and take it to the top of the top. I'm going to be a motherfucking doctor. Did that. And then now I'm in a whole new identity. Like, wow, I did all of that while I was blind to the fact. Blind. You can do anything possible. Even if people want to tear you down, make you low, give you nothing, you start from nothing, you can still come out of that and be everything you ever thought you wanted to be. Don't ever let anybody ever in your motherfucking life ever again tell you who you are. Once you read, once you do your genealogy, once you got the facts, once you know what you know, people gonna come and try you because they think they know what they know, and their ears are closed, their eyes are closed, their mouth is closed until they see something that bothers their spirit, and like, but that ain't true. Here go another one of y'all. Yeah, you right. And we out here. Best believe it. We out here. The Niiji is out here. And I ain't alone. It's not just one of me. It's more than one of us. We all over the place. And when more people wake up, then you will see. We out here. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I came from Tallahassee. I'm a part of the Appalachee, Choctaw, Muskogee, all of that. Didn't even know it, and still came out on top. Still came out a doctor. Still came out and ran a dental practice. Get your facts straight, boo. While being so quote unquote ignorant to the real truth. Because I don't know what truth you coming from. I don't know what angle that's coming from. I just don't know. But if you come on my page trying to tell me who I am, unless I got a million comments and I just starting to ignore y'all. But if you coming on here now trying to call people this and say little slick shit, it ain't gonna really work. Like, I'm not really into calling people out like that, but now that I'm in my new identity, I just can't let people try to put things out there that make people so confused. Like, well, here go another one of y'all. Like, stop. They did that already. They've been doing that for 400-500 years with the pseudo history, trying to put the fear tactics, write anything they want down and acting like it's the truth and teaching it like true. We like, stop. The jig is up. The jig is up. The jig is up, my guy. Go on. Shoo. Away. Bye-bye, boo-boo. It's Niiji time. Get with it or get lost. Niiji time, baby. We ain't sleep no more. And you want to talk about we less dangerous when we're ignorant? Are you crazy? I'd rather have 20% knowledge and truth. I'd rather have 10%, 2%, 1% than no percent. Do you know the statistics for a person like me, a so-called enslaved person from Africa, to become a doctor? Do you know how hard that is? Let me guess, you ignorant to the fact. Do you know how hard it is to become this, not knowing that you're indigenous to the land and still doing it with student loans, all this stuff, with no help, starting from zero? Let me guess, you ignorant to the fact. Well, let me make sure that you don't be ignorant to this fact anymore. Any type of knowledge is better than 0%. Okay? When I wanted to pursue my goal of becoming a dentist, I know there was a less than 1% chance that I would get in. But with a mindset of a person like that comment, they won't even try. Their whole mindset, well, I ain't gonna even try because it's a less than 1% chance that I'm gonna get in. So if it ain't 90%, I ain't even gonna try. Me and you different. You not like me. You not like us. You not Niiji. You don't get it. And maybe you are Niiji, you don't know, but you need to wake up, get off of that ignorant shit. I'm just saying. I had a less than 1% chance. Still tried. Still took all the courses. Still did all the community service. Still did all the shadowing and working with other doctors. Still did all of that. Took all the courses. Passed all the courses that you probably never took in your life. Don't you ever call somebody ignorant because they trying to wake up and get knowledge. Are y'all crazy out there? Like, stop. The jig is up. I promise you, the jig is up. A couple months ago, you probably could have, because I didn't know, but I know now. The only way I know is because I read, right? Had a less than 1% chance. Still applied to dental school. Didn't get in my first time, right? I didn't get in. I had one interview at University of Florida. I was the only melanated person in the room for this interview. The only Niiji. I didn't know I was a Niiji. I thought I was an enslaved. My ancestors was enslaved. So when I walked into this room, I saw all these Caucasian people who didn't look like me. And that moment from when I was a kid, getting bullied for being black, getting bullied for this, it came all back to me in that moment. And I counted my own self out. I allowed the history, the pseudo history that I had been taught, to count my own self out of being a dentist. Because I walked into that room, all the candidates did not look like me. I got intimidated. I felt less than. Then when I got into the interview part of this whole experience, there were two Caucasian interviewees, an older lady and an older man. He looked like he might have been 80 or 90. I got intimidated. Do you know what I did? I cried in that interview because I felt ignorant. Even though I had graduated from college, passed my exams, they sent for me for this interview. University of Florida. I would have loved to have went there, but I cried in that interview because I was not ready. History had counted me out before I even could count myself in because of statements like that. Shut the fuck up. And I mean that. Like, stop going around with this bullshit like you know better. And if you read anything and you shouldn't read. No. No. If I had counted myself out that day and gave up, I would not be here today talking to you, doing this thing, doing this career, motivating people around the world, millions of people, to realize that just because you from the hood does not mean you can't get hooded. Just because you woke up, you was born and told that you was enslaved, does not mean that you're not Niiji. Just because you got 0% knowledge now, don't mean that you can't have 2% tomorrow. And baby, the last time I checked, 2% was better than 0%. Talking about ignorant. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You got to be crazy. 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 Right? Back to my story. So the first year, when I had a less than 1% chance of getting in, I could have quit and felt like that was nothing. Am I more dangerous with a 1% chance, or am I dangerous with a 0% chance? I think I'm more dangerous with the 1% chance. There's a better chance of me getting in with the 1% chance, and I'm going to take it, right? So the next year, I had to go back to the drawing board, reapply all over, go redo my whole application, my whole personal statement. I didn't have to take the test because the people at UF, they called me. They said, hey, we really want you here. But I counted myself out. I wasn't ready. They thought that I was ready, but I thought that my color wasn't ready because I was ignorant in that area of life. So I went back to the drawing board, did what she told me to do, started taking master's classes. Baby, I'm not one of them. Started taking master's classes. Yeah. Started taking master's classes, applied again the next year. I waited a whole year and I applied again the next year. Baby, I got an interview again. And I walked in that interview because I had experience. That little bitty experience that I had at UF, do you know it helped me get in the next year? Imagine if I had not had that experience. That little 0%, that 1%, whatever you want to say it, the minimal percent. Do you know that experience helped me? The next year, baby, I walked into Meharry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee. I held my head up high, and I knew that this time I would not count myself out. I don't care what people say. I don't care who else is in this interview. I have to get in. I cannot go back to where I came from. I cannot go back to zero. So I walked in that interview at Meharry Medical College, head high, smiling. I said, I'm going to get in this mug. I got to get in here. When in my interview, I told the lady, I said, listen, last year, she said, why do you want to be a dentist? What makes you want to be a dentist? I said, last year I got an interview at University of Florida and I cried. This time I know that I'm ready. I'm prepared. I want this. I worked so hard for this. I deserve this. I want to help people. I feel like this is my gift. And I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. Right? I didn't cry. I felt confident when I left. Even if I had a less than 1% chance. Do you see the difference when you have a less than 1% chance and you don't have your spiritual well-being together? You'll count your own self out. And then let alone somebody else comment with a comment, oh, da, 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 you really gonna count yourself out. Today, my Niiji, I tell you, this ain't even for the person with the comments. It's just an example. Today, my Niiji, I tell you, the second time I applied with that same 1% chance that I had the first time, with confidence, believing in myself, not knowing that I was Niiji, believing that I deserved this regardless of where I came from, regardless of being from the hood, regardless of not having my mama, regardless of not having my dad here, regardless of not having no help, regardless of having worked 2-3 jobs, regardless. I went into that second interview, that second year, with my head held high, and I got in, baby. I got in on December the 1st, baby, 2011, and I cried. I was working at the state of Florida, 8 to 5. I was miserable, and I did not want to be there. In a bad relationship, just going through it and not really believing in myself, but I had to force myself to believe that I'm going to take this 1% chance. So the next time somebody tell you the little knowledge that you are learning, the little facts that you are trying to piece together is worth nothing, you do not listen to them. These people will make you vibrate low. You can't make me vibrate low ever again in my life. You can't do that to me. Sorry, but not sorry. This video wasn't even supposed to be this long, but listen, don't let people call you ignorant, try to be slick with it. No, I'm not one of them. You're going to comment on this page with some disrespectful shit. Unless it's 1 million people commenting, then I probably ignore y'all. But as long as I can see it, I'm not going to always respond. But now, I had time today. LOL. Okay. All right, my Niiji. So head held high. Never let the enemy tell you who you are. And sometimes the enemy looks just like you. Don't even let them tell you who you are. Clock it. I'm just going to stay ignorant. And neither should you. As you go through this awakening process, you're going to have so many people try to attack your character, attack your knowledge, attack your spirit, tell you don't even bother with it, because why? Why are you doing all of that? You could just, what is it, stay black and die? Nah, not this Niiji. Not this Niiji. Not none of my tribe. We're not going to do that.